Hi, and welcome to another Lemonade series. I'm Jaquetta here with Lynne Forrest, creator of the Reality Formula. And today we're going to be talking about the judger, that part of us that judges, and that part of us that is afraid that we are being judged or who perceives judgment from others and takes it on as if it is true. What would you like to say about that, Lynne?
Well, I was just thinking about the judger and the judged and feeling judged. So what we do is judge them for judging us, right? So we become judgers as soon as we feel judged.
That is so true. I've never thought about it that way, but you're exactly right.
Yeah, I mean it's so interesting. We're doing the very thing that we are accusing them of doing, which is judging.
Oh
So
my,
so one of the things about judgment, like denial, I will say, judgment and denial have their sacred function. They have a part to play in this process of awakening of consciousness. And because what judgment does, and that's why it's not something we shouldn't do, because the reality is everybody does it. There's nobody that doesn't judge. And if you know somebody who doesn't, let me know. I just noticed it's a human quality that we all do. And the reason for that is because judgment, when we point the finger, you know the saying, when we point one finger out, we got three more pointing back at me. And that's the reality. It's like what we do, if you could say it's sort of like we hire people to show us our judgments again that we're holding against ourselves. In other words, what we see in them is a projection of that which blames us, which accuses us. And I have yet to really explore something that I'm telling myself is being held against me by someone. They're judging me. They that I can't find it somewhere in my own consciousness. Maybe not in that exact way. However, very often in that very way. And if I'm not judging them in that way, I'm judging me. More likely, I'm judging me. And so judgment is the way that we spot where it is we're out of alignment with ourselves, where we are in contrast to our true nature. And when we begin to understand that, then we begin to use it as a tool for coming into a greater acceptance of ourselves. It becomes for us. And as I've said so many times, reality is for us. What happens is for us. So if I'm looking at someone and just sure they're judging me, and they may be, but only if they are, they're only doing that at my invitation. Number one, energetically, they're going to be a vibrational match for my belief system. So if I'm holding a judgment against me, then you can count on the universe bringing someone to open their mouths and say out loud the judgment I'm holding against myself. How else am I going to find it? How else am I going to say, oh, I am holding that against me? And I'm doing that very thing. And then with that, I have the opportunity to clear it, to release it, to forgive. And the meaning of forgive is simply to let go of my unhappy story about me. And when I do that, the judgment just dissipates. So judgment is for us when we know how to turn it into lemonade.
so how do we clear that when we're sure we're being judged and we're judging them for judging us? Which, yes, I've done and I do. How do I clear that? What do I, how do I do that? Where do I go?
Well, the first thing we do is notice the part of us that wants to make it a problem that we are holding this judgment against ourselves, rather than understanding that it's simply elucidating, it's simply illuminating a place where we are closed off to ourselves. And it's helping us identify that. So it's serving us. So that's the first step is, okay, this, I'm being given the opportunity to see what it is I'm holding against me. And then I just began to question it. Like, okay, when I believe that, how do I feel? And so now I know that I'm projecting out that energy. So if I'm feeling that way, believing that accusation that I've projected onto them is holding against me, if I understand that that's my judgment against me, then, and I'm believing it, and I'm feeling the feeling that goes with believing it, then how am I going to act? How am I going to react in the world? How am I going to see them? How am I going to respond to them? And what will that bring back? And so what I'm getting to do is really, really take responsibility for myself. You know, that really is the key to turning everything into lemonade, is understanding. I had a teacher many, many years ago, back in the 70s, that many years ago, say to me, Lynn, everything you see is happening for you. It is happening for you. Back then, I was just like in my early 20s. I thought that meant that, you know, I was the center stage. Well, I am. I'm in the center of my world. You are the center of your world. You are putting out a vibration. You will bring back to you a reflection of that same vibration so that you can see what vibration you're putting out. This is for you. It's for you. And when we begin to get that, then there's just no problem. I mean, it may be painful, it may be uncomfortable, but you understand that even pain has its sacred function. And that is that there's nothing that motivates us to grow and to expand, to shift the way we see things, the way we feel. There's nothing like pain for that to serve as that kind of motivator. And it has its function. It tells us that something's wrong, not so much in the way that we're judging, but wrong in terms of our alignment with who we are, that we are out of alignment with ourselves. And so this is what we do. We begin to get really clear on, okay, this is who I become when I believe that. This is how I feel. This is how I act. Is there another way to see it? And that's the golden question. How else can I see this? What if because what I notice is that when I begin to see this other who I've accused, judged, as accusing me, as when I see them as the accuser, then I don't like them too well. I want to, but when I begin to shift and go, wow, they're opening their mouth and saying out loud for me what it is I'm holding against me so that I can find it, suddenly I understand they are my teacher. They are my friend. This is the universe loving me through them, regardless of what they think. Even if they believe what they're thinking and it happens to be against me, I understand that they see what they see and believe what they believe because they are thinking what they think and feeling what they feel when they think that and acting the way they do when they feel that, and that has zero to do with me. And when I get there, then I'm able to stay at peace in a state of well-being regardless of where they are. And interestingly enough, so I start putting out a steady sort of love energy that they will respond to, and they will mirror that back. And now we are in harmony, and I have reestablished my connection with who I am. And that's called lemonade.
I love it. That's perfect. Thank you.
Thank you.